In 2017, a 23-year-old opened a tea shop in Kunming in China's far southwest. He had grown up so poor that he couldn't read until his mid-teens. He'd worked in milk tea shops since he was 17, long enough to learn the problem that would define his life. No two cups of freshly brewed tea ever taste the same. Tea is moody. Shift the water a few degrees, steep it half a minute too long, hand the leaves to a different barista, and you've made a different drink. His plan was to sell freshly brewed tea anyway, in thousands of stores, with every cup identical. That company is CHAGEE. 8 years later, it had more than 6,000 outlets and a ticker symbol on the Nasdaq. And its best-selling drink doesn't even have pearls. That's a choice. And the reason behind it explains the whole company. Let's follow one cup backwards. Order the drink that made CHAGEE famous, the Boya Juexian, and you get jasmine green tea, fresh milk, and a cap of milk foam. That's the entire recipe. Most people file CHAGEE under bubble tea, and the company keeps correcting them because the difference is the whole strategy. Every topping in a bubble tea shop adds another station, another cook time, another chance to get it wrong. Tapioca pearls have to be boiled, rested, and thrown out when they harden. CHAGEE cut all of it. The company calls its drinks tea lattes instead, borrowing the language of coffee, and it built the menu the way espresso bars did. A short list of drinks that are mostly the same few components in different ratios. A drink this simple also hides nothing. With 3 ingredients, there's no sugar and topping wall to bury the tea behind. If the leaf is wrong, you taste it immediately. And leaves want to be wrong, because tea is a crop. 2 hillsides give you 2 flavors. Spring harvest and autumn harvest give you 2 flavors. The same bush, picked 2 weeks apart, gives you 2 flavors. CHAGEE buys leaves by the ton from growing regions across China, and every ton arrives slightly different. Now put that against the scale. CHAGEE runs more than 6,000 stores. If each one sells 500 drinks a day, and busy locations in China sell far more than that, you're past 3 million cups a day. 3 million chances for the flavor to wobble. Fixing that variation is a factory job, and it happens months before any store sees a single leaf. Start in the tea garden. Pickers take the bud and the young leaves beside it, because older leaves turn bitter and stems taste of nothing. From the second a leaf is plucked, its own enzymes start pushing it toward oxidation, the process that turns leaves dark and flavors malty. For green tea, the producer's first job is to stop that clock. The leaves are tumbled through heated drums, hot enough to kill the enzymes within minutes, which locks in the grassy, fresh profile that jasmine tea is built on. Then comes the scenting, and this part surprises people. Jasmine tea contains no jasmine flavoring. The fragrance is absorbed physically from real flowers. Jasmine blossoms are picked in the afternoon while still closed, then spread over the finished tea in the evening, because jasmine opens and releases its scent at night. The tea sits with the flowers through the night, breathing in the aroma. In the morning, the spent blossoms are raked out because a wilted flower left in the leaf turns the brew soupy. Then it happens again. Fresh blossoms, another night. The finest grades are scented 5, 6, even 7 times, which means a single batch of premium jasmine tea can absorb a full week of nights and several times its own weight in flowers. This is centuries-old standard practice in Chinese tea production, and it's slow on purpose. There is no shortcut, no spray-on fragrance that survives hot water the way absorbed scent does. Scented tea still varies batch to batch, so the next step borrows a trick from whiskey distillers and coffee roasters: blending. Tasters at the processing stage mix lots from different farms and harvests until the combined batch lands on one target profile. The store isn't promised a harvest, it's promised a flavor. Between every one of these steps sits a checkpoint. Samples from each batch get brewed and tasted by trained panels, the way coffee roasters cup their beans. And a lot that drifts off the target profile gets reblended or rejected before it can reach a single customer. Then the clock becomes the enemy, because finished green tea fades. Heat, humidity, and light eat away exactly the aromas those scenting nights built. So between processing and packing, the leaf waits in cold, dry storage, sealed in the dark. The freshness you taste in the cup was refrigerated into place months earlier. The blended leaf is then portioned into sealed single brew packs, protected from air and moisture, so a pack opened in month 1 brews the same as a pack opened in month 6. Fresh milk runs on a separate track. The industry standard is flash pasteurization, 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds, hot enough to kill pathogens and brief enough to leave the milk tasting like milk. From there, it rides an unbroken cold chain from industrial dairies to store fridges, and a delivery that breaks temperature gets rejected at the door. By the time any of this reaches a shop front, every decision that could change the taste has already been made. The man behind this system is Zhang Junjie, and his story reads like fiction. He grew up in Yunnan as what China calls a left-behind child, raised while his parents worked far away, and he has told interviewers that he couldn't read or write until his mid-teens. At 17, he was working the counter of a milk tea shop. He learned the business from inside it, moved up to running stores, and in 2017 opened his own brand in Kunming, CHAGEE. The name is wordplay on Farewell My Concubine, one of the most famous Peking operas in China, swapping one character so the title reads, roughly as the hegemon king's tea, a tea named after an opera, sold by a man who learned to read as a teenager. He never hid the ambition. He has said repeatedly that the benchmark is Starbucks, and that tea deserves the same global company coffee got. In April 2025, that stopped sounding far-fetched. CHAGEE listed on the Nasdaq under the ticker CHAGEE and raised over 400 million US dollars. Buried in its listing documents sits the number that explains the machines. According to those filings, roughly 6 out of every 10 drinks CHAGEE sells come from just its top 3 recipes. One flagship carries the company. So the stores never needed equipment that could make anything. They needed equipment that could make almost nothing, perfectly, forever. Behind a CHAGEE counter, the star of the show is a row of automated brewers. A staff member loads a sealed leaf pack, presses one button, and the machine takes over. Water at a programmed temperature, a steep time to the second, the same extraction every single run. The tea brews in batches into dispensers, and each batch gets a timer. When the timer runs out, that tea is poured down the drain, whether the store was busy or dead. Old tea tastes flat and slightly harsh, and a discarded batch is cheaper than a disappointed regular. Even the water's a decision, because tap water changes from city to city, so stores run theirs through standardized filtration before it ever touches a leaf, since a perfect leaf brewed in the wrong water still makes the wrong cup. Notice what batch brewing buys them. Steeping is the slow step. A proper brew takes minutes, and nobody in a lunch queue wants to stand through one. So the steeping happens ahead of the rush, in volume, and what the queue waits on is assembly. At peak hour, the line moves at the speed of pouring, capping, and labeling, the same way a burger chain moves at the speed of wrapping, because the cooking was separated from the ordering long ago. So what do the humans actually do? Assembly. Milk is dosed by machine to the milliliter. The foam cap is whipped from a standardized base so it comes out the same thickness at every store. The barista combines the components, seals the lid, and sticks on a label. Nobody behind that counter measures leaves, guesses a temperature, or watches a clock. The skill was moved out of their hands on purpose, because skill varies and machines don't. There's a quieter payoff too. The cup an exhausted closing crew hands you at 10 at night matches the one the morning shift made at 8. Even the label is part of the system. CHAGEE prints nutrition information for its drinks, including caffeine levels, a habit it picked up from the coffee world that most tea chains never bothered with. Your cup tells you what's in it before you drink it. And when you customize your order, you're choosing from presets, whether you notice or not. Sugar comes in fixed steps. Ice comes in fixed steps. Each step maps to an exact dose, so 2 customers asking for less sweet in 2 different cities get the same less sweet. The chain hands you the feeling of freedom while keeping full control of the outcome. Quality control still assumes people will drift. Orders flow through the app and store QR codes, so drinks are often queued up before the customer even reaches the counter. Head office sees what every outlet sells as it happens, and audits check stores against the standard. The store isn't really a kitchen at all. It's the final assembly line, and the conveyor belt runs straight to the counter. Now zoom out, because consistency was never the end goal. It was the growth engine. In 2017, CHAGEE was a single shop in Kunming. About 8 years later, it had passed 6,000 stores and pushed into markets well beyond China, and in its fastest stretch, going by its own reported store counts, it was averaging several new openings a day. Food chains usually can't grow at that pace, and the bottleneck is people. Every new branch of a traditional tea house needs staff who can brew, and brewers take months to train. A CHAGEE outlet skips that queue. The leaf packs ship from the same central supply chain. The brewers arrive pre-programmed with the same recipes. A brand new crew learns assembly in days and serves a standard cup in its first week, so a new store plugs into the system instead of studying under it. That plug-and-play quality also changed who gets to open one. According to its filings, the vast majority of CHAGEE outlets are run by franchisees, and the company can hand them the keys because the system leaves so little room to get things wrong. The franchisee brings the capital and the location. The machines, the leaf packs, and the playbook arrive ready to run. Head office keeps its grip on the taste from 1,000 miles away, so every signed franchise adds a store without adding risk to the recipe. And wherever that store opens, the cup, the sleeve, and the lid are identical parts from central suppliers, which is why two CHAGEE cups photographed 1,000 miles apart look like the same photo. There's one last engineered detail, and it's the part most people never clock. The milk foam cap is its own recipe, formulated to hold its texture instead of collapsing into the tea, which is why the drink still has its layers after the walk from the store to your desk. Even the foam was designed to survive you. Somewhere in all this is a neat irony. A boy who spent his childhood unable to read built a company where nothing is left open to interpretation. Every gram, every degree, every second, written down and locked in. So the next time a CHAGEE in one country tastes suspiciously like a CHAGEE in another, you'll know why. The brewing decisions were made in a factory months earlier, and the store just carried them out. Here's the question that splits every comment section, though. Pearls or no pearls? Is CHAGEE right that the tea should stand alone? Or does bubble tea need the chew? Settle it below, and the machines are only half the story. We followed the cup today. The company behind it deserves a video of its own. How one milk tea shop in Kunming, opened by a kid the industry ignored, fought its way to a multi-million-dollar Nasdaq IPO in under a decade. We teamed up with Politics and Finance Explained, and their video traces that whole climb, picking up right where our chapter on Zhang Junji left off. It's on your screen now. Go watch how the empire got built.